Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to I was gonna say the Left Wing Pod. Welcome to actually, hold on. What's the name of the fucking show? Welcome to
It is the Left Wing podcast,
the Left
TJ.
Wing. Yes, the Left
We're
Wing.
up to
Okay.
a great
We're
start
at
so far.
awesome, awesome. First day podcasting, folks. Welcome to another great episode of the Left Wing. I am TJ Whitehead, your host. Power is taken, not given. Joined by our guest tonight, John Cooper Paz of Counterpoint Politics. How are you doing today, friend?
I'm doing great. For those who didn't get the inside joke there, I upgraded my computer so you don't see me stuttering, but now I can't log into our StreamYard account. So we are here. I am a official guest of the Left Wing Pod. So TJ, I'm a guest. You take it away. I can't.
I know, right? Yeah, John can't accent. Well, first, we got a comment here that was here before the show from My Girl Won't Stop Pegging Me, Please Help. And it says, bet you sheep regret getting the jab now that Fauci won't answer what day of the week it is. Love the username, by the way, buddy. And my girl won't stop pegging me. Please help. I don't know what the problem is. Like, what are you complaining about? It sounds like a good time. I don't know what the complaint
No,
is.
I think he's asking us to help his girl. Peg.
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. We're on the way, buddy. We're on the way. And Colby commented, militantly on time for TikTok, but YouTube not a chance. Yeah, that's usually Hugh Jass's lane to yell at us for being late. So Colby, thank you for taking up the colors there and making sure the flag doesn't touch the ground. Yeah, John had some difficulties, like I said, logging into the account. So we try to finagle that around a little bit, but going ahead to start the show. All right, John, I can't believe, speaking of TikTok, that I didn't ask this on our Tuesday TikTok, but you went and saw Odyssey. You told me at the end there. I'm dying to know, what is your review of this film?
My review of this film is that Christopher Nolan did the best possible job of adapting the Odyssey into a well-paced feature-length film, and that resulted in a B film. That's kind of how I feel about it. My wife loved it. She was over the moon about it. She loved Oppenheimer, loved it. She's just a Chris Nolan stan, I guess. But the Odyssey, it really boils down to this, is not a good story. It turns out,
big hot take.
Big hot take. I say this about a lot of old shit, but like, it turns out we got better at storytelling in the last, 3,000 years since the Odyssey was first spoken into existence, not even written down. I don't even know what year it was in. But like, it's a bad story. It's not very compelling. And the fact that he made it compelling is hats off to him. But I think he would have needed to do something less faithful if he wanted to make a movie that I would have been moved by. And he did not do that. He chose to be extremely faithful to the original text. And I know people are pissed because he did race blind fucking casting. Like, that fucking matters when it comes to faithfulness to a text. But yeah, it's just okay. Like he did a good job. It was every moment I was enjoying it, but I've seen better movies.
All right. It does my heart good to hear you say this, because that's basically what I went away saying. I didn't have any commentary on the Odyssey being a shit story. I don't remember saying that. But and Christopher Nolan just making, a chicken salad out of chicken shit with Homer's work or whatever. And I think, you talk about the timeline, I think Homer, like, to the extent that he was a real person, lived around 800 BC. And the Odyssey is a story from 400 years before that. Like, Homer took stories that have been passed down for centuries. So yeah, like 3,200 years ago, you're talking about the original Trojan War. So all right, you weren't impressed with the overall product. Well, I gotta imagine you thought it looked great, though, because that's what I came away thinking. Oh, I guess I haven't, in my opinion, it's in a while, but I thought that it looked great and it sounded great. But I was distracted by a few things. One, there'd be too many big name actors. I don't know if that drove you, John, but every other scene was some A-list star. That bothered me. And I didn't like that they... Oh, how did you feel about the language? How did you feel about the way they spoke?
I liked the way they spoke.
Okay.
Let me tell you, TJ. People who are like, I wanted them to speak, more. No, you didn't. You do not want to watch 3 hours of anything close to era-appropriate language. First of all, you wouldn't be able to understand any of it. But second of all, I think that making the language more modern was part of what made the film so well paced. Like that's the biggest takeaway I have, the biggest accomplishment. You're right. It looks great. It sounds amazing. Of course it does. It's a Chris Nolan film. But like the pacing of that film to take what, again, The Odyssey is not a well-paced story. It is not. I read it in school like the rest of us did. Anyone who was like, I was enthralled. I couldn't, it was a real page turner, The Odyssey. Like, you're lying to me, bro. And the fact that he was able to make it so well-paced while covering pretty much the entire story of The Odyssey is pretty damn impressive. So that's kind of how I felt about it. And I also agree with you. The star-studded cameos were distracting. They genuinely were distracting. A lot of the stars put in good performances, but I don't know. Like Lupita Nyong'o, honestly, is kind of the one where I'm like, you didn't need her for that. You didn't need an A-lister for that 30-second role that didn't mean anything. Like, that's just distracting.
You didn't need the fucking Punisher in the movie either, right?
Yeah, he did great. He did great though, TJ.
Yeah, but listen, it's like, yeah, but I wasn't watching, what is it, King Menelaus? I was watching the Punisher. That's just how I felt about every time I saw these folks. It's like, okay, get some recognizable stars, some names that kind of carry, but you did not need that, Christopher Nolan. You did not to pay. Also, okay, geez, this is what I want to say here, but could not disagree more about the language. I could not disagree more. I thought that having them, you must have forgot I mentioned this in my review, that I didn't like the fact that they all spoke modern day American English. I hated that. I don't need them to speak ancient Greek and have subtitles like Passion of Christ or something. That's not what I want. But no, I don't want them speaking British accents either. But I want them to speak in a way that's different than everyday people speak, because that is important for me, at least, in immersion. That these people don't sound like me. Like, I shouldn't sound like Odysseus, right? He should sound like someone who's a long time ago was speaking like an older form of English, or higher form of English than you hear on a normal day. That's just my personal preference. I didn't really care for that. And with the actors, yeah, I saw all the Travis Scott, the first person you see, very distracting. Who doesn't? I can't stress this enough. Travis Scott does not look like he belongs there. Like, they did not do much to ancient him up. It's like he could have just showed. If I saw some like red carpet premiere and he was dressed like that, okay, it's a little weird, but I can get it. I can see what he's going for here. It didn't seem that strange to me. But this is kind of off topic. I don't want to leave the Odyssey completely, but I'm going to come out and say, I wish I had said this a long time ago. Heather and I have been watching. I haven't watched any of the Dune movies. I haven't read any of the books or anything like that. Heather loves the movie or the books, and she's seen one of the movies. So we watched Dune 1 and 2 over the last week or so, and great films. I got no problem with them. I don't get what the fuck people see in Zendaya. I don't get it. I don't get it at all, man. Zendaya is. I'm not going to say a bad actress, but she doesn't seem like a great one to me. Not one who's in The Odyssey, who's in Dune, who's in Spider-Man. I never even saw Euphoria, but I know it's one of the biggest TV shows out there. How does she keep getting these huge roles when she's just fucking Zendaya? I don't know about you, John. How do you feel about that? Just if you want to trash an actress with me on this.
So I'm going to agree with you to a point, in that I do feel like the big blockbuster movies she's been in, like The Odyssey, like Dune. By the way, I fucking love Dune. That absolutely love those movies. But she's just okay in them. Like, there are other actors and actresses that outshine her in those movies. But some of the smaller stuff she has done, she was electric in Challengers. I thought she was fantastic and perfect for that role. I think that she's getting typecast into a certain thing in the blockbuster movies because they're making so much fucking money, and they're just like, Zendaya, just do the Zendaya thing where you sit there and look pretty and give a little bit of a subtle performance,
stare
and yeah, that's what you're gonna do. And I hate her in Spider-Man. Like, I think she's a terrible fucking MJ. Like, it's actually insane that you have her actually married to Tom Holland, and you could do really interesting things with that dynamic, and they just choose not to, and they just kind of phone it in with her character. Like, I agree. Like, the big tentpole films she's been in, she's not been great. The smaller ones, I do think she's pretty good, but she's not a great actress.
No,
she's not. And that's okay.
she does not deserve one name recognition, right? She's not Madonna or Prince or something like that. Like, the fact that I don't know Zendaya's last name is absurd. Like she should have two. She's on two name status, if you ask me. But yeah, I didn't really care for her performance in that or Dune. I'm getting very sick of Zendaya here. Oh, we got some people who agree. I forgot John can't see this. Kobe says completely agree. Oh, you can? Okay, all right. Prompt Briar says thank you, TJ's and Daya Truther. Yeah, you guys are right on track here. I don't understand. Now, with the Cyclops scene. Your thoughts on the Cyclops scene? Because the part that I'm gonna remember the most, like if someone brings up the Odyssey movie to me 20 years from now, I'm like, oh yeah, I like the Cyclops scream. That was the part that I was like, oh wow, that's really good. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think the Cyclops scene was really good. And I really like that he didn't do the nobody's attacking me thing, because that's a really dumb part of the Odyssey. Like that, as I said, I might shit on the original story of the Odyssey. I remember reading that in school and being like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. And then, oh, his name sounds like nobody in Greek. It's still dumb. It's still incredibly dumb. It makes me think that people who lived back then, like, I like to think that like people have been mostly intelligent throughout human history, and like society just takes a while to build up to certain things, and we stand on the back of giants. But when it comes to, like, us just shooting the shit, being creative, we're gonna still have a similar level of intelligence. No, if that was the high art, that was the big twist that defeated the villain. Nobody's attacking me. Yeah, that, I'm sorry, people must have just been absurdly dumb back then for that to carry. I'm glad they got rid of that. The sound design on the monster was fantastic. The scale, it's one of many scenes in the movie, but like, you have to see it. I can't imagine if I had seen it not in IMAX, I would have came away as happy with the movie, because like you just feel Polyphemus there. Like it's so tactile. Like the entire movie, not just that scene, but so many of the scenes, so tactile. You feel like you're there. You feel like you're on that fucking boat with them and just suffering in misery. And it's like, that's what makes the movie good to me. This just not the story. Like it's okay. They blinded him and ran out of sheep. Like it's not that impressive. TJ, this is the guy that made Memento. This is
okay. Yes,
down when
yes,
it comes
yes.
to storytelling.
I was talking to my physical therapist the other day about that, and I said, "Yeah, this isn't in my top 5 Christopher Nolan movies, not even close." And I said, "It's no Batman, Dark Knight. It's no Interstellar or Prestige, Memento." He goes, "Oh my God, Memento! It doesn't come close to Memento. Memento it probably had 1/10, like 1/30th the budget of the Odyssey." Infinitely better film. Infinitely better. Like I would recommend Memento to literally anybody. I would only recommend the Odyssey to people living in 2026 who can still go see it in IMAX. That's it. I would never recommend this movie to someone 5 years from now. No chance. Because John's right. I had the same thought when I left the theater. It's like, man, I would have felt kind of cheated if I saw this in a regular theater. I don't think I would have gotten the full experience of it. And this may or may not surprise you, John, but I've never read the Odyssey. I've never read the story, the actual book. And when I was in school, in our literature class, we had several pages of the Odyssey. And it was the Cyclops story, the story that everybody knows. So I'm reading through this, and I said, oh, okay, so this is a story that takes place after the Trojan War. I knew about the Iliad and everything. And I'm reading the story, and the nobody is. I was waiting for that scene in the movie. It wasn't there. I was kind of sad it wasn't. I wanted to see how they played it out. I remember reading it, and Odysseus says that, hey, my name is Nobody. And the Cyclops is screaming, nobody is hurting me. So the other Cyclopses don't come to his aid because there's nobody hurting him. And I thought, that's kind of dumb. That's kind of stupid. What if he's screaming in pain, even if no one's hurting him, you could still go help him, right? I don't know. I thought that was
would just like look over and be like, hey, what's
wrong?
Like, it is the dumbest thing I've ever read. Like the dumbest twist. Odysseus, and I'll say this about the Odyssey too. In order for it to have been good, it had to be a different story, and they would have had to take liberties with it, which they did not do. And I respect what they made, but that version of Odysseus is so boring. The way Matt Damon played it, Odysseus can be he's supposed to be cunning. He's supposed to have guile. He's supposed to be charismatic. And you just don't. He's basically Batman, but Odysseus. Like it's just kind of a little boring, a little just. He doesn't make a joke. He doesn't make a quip. He doesn't really outsmart anyone in any sort of cunning way. And that's because they're so faithful. But they could have, if they're going to modernize the language, you could also modernize what fucking happens. And they didn't do it. And that's fine. There's just a better movie that could have been made. Like I think they had a goal and they executed on that goal as well as they possibly could. It is the worst Christopher Nolan film, though. Like, and again, that's not necessarily like a bad thing. Doesn't make it a bad movie. He only makes bangers, but like, I don't like Interstellar. I would actually watch that again before Interstellar. I'm a weird egg, I guess. Everyone fucking loves that movie, but other than that, I wouldn't watch any other. I wouldn't watch that before any other Chris Nolan film.
Gotta put a pin in you not liking Interstellar. What the fuck, John? But all right, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Maybe not even today's show, but that's definitely worth a conversation. But I cannot believe
DJ. Put up Colby's comment. That's a good one. I can't put up the comments, but no, the one before that.
TJ never read it because he experienced it firsthand. All right. I can't even be mad about that one. Good job, Colby. Good job. All right. So, okay. Yeah, gotta come back to that later. But I can't believe that this movie is on track to making $1 billion. I cannot believe it. I mean, I know Christopher Nolan's name carries a lot of weight, and everyone thinks it'll be a big open, but it's like, this is an okay movie. It's okay. It's not. That's my problem. It's like, it's not bad. It's not so bad that I want to like dog on it and trash it, but the fact that I feel like Kyle's on here when Kyle was talking about Obsession, that he said that TJ, now you know how I feel about Obsession. All right, I got you, Kyle. I got it. Where everyone thought Obsession was amazing, Kyle sitting there like, what are you guys talking about? This is okay. That's exactly how I feel about the Odyssey. Oh, but I was saying, I haven't read the story. So I read this part of the story in literature class. Then I said, okay, this is a classic. I should probably go, read this story to be a, educated, informed member of society. And I went to the bookstore. We had those back then. I went to the bookstore and I found the Odyssey. It's like that thick. I said, no. So sorry. Like the Iliad is a war. It's got Achilles. It's got I didn't have the Trojan horse in this book, I don't think. But it's cool. It's about a war. It's awesome. And then I'm reading about the Odyssey. It's like, oh, half of it takes place on a boat. I'm out. Sorry, not interested. That's it's his journey home, and it takes him 10 years to travel like 20 miles. That sounds boring as fuck. So I never actually read it. I did the Cliff Notes. I found out exactly what happened. All I needed to know. Glad I didn't. But yeah, the whole thing it was okay. It was just, and I hate that the whole time I was waiting for some like grand moment to happen. I was like, I'm so glad I'm watching this, but it just didn't. And Odysseus, I found him pretty boring too. That not only was he kind of boring, he was kind of a prick. I had a hard time really rooting for Odysseus and look, I know he's just following the story to an extent that Odysseus is not like ancient. It's funny with ancient heroes that these old stories thousands of years ago, they really weren't interested in making them these upstanding people. Like they had all these flaws and foibles. Odysseus is an arrogant prick. And so he taunts the Cyclops in the story. I think in the original story, he taunts the Cyclops by saying, my real name is Odysseus. You dumbass, you blind dumbass. My name is Odysseus. And so then the Cyclops prays to his father Poseidon to curse Odysseus. And that's why the journey takes forever. In the story, as they're running away, he never announces my name is Odysseus. He just like fires an arrow at the Cyclops for no fucking reason. They were scot-free. They could have just got out of there. And I did not expect to be rooting for the Cyclops. I was like, the Cyclops did nothing wrong. They invaded armed men invaded his house, started eating his food, and he's the bad guy here. I did really like. I don't know if you've seen the memes, but Robert Pattinson, another giant actor that have a movie, when he said, "Somebody get these beggars out of here," that he says beggars little too much English, little too much. It's like I watch it. There's clips of him. You can see he's like he doesn't say somebody get these beggars out of here. He's like somebody get these beggars out of here. You're like, oh, we okay, Pat? We okay, man? What's happening here? Why you get these filthy plate lickers out of here? It's like what is going on here? Why is he talking like that? What you remember that? That's kind of weird, right?
That is very funny. I didn't even kind of like. obviously I've seen that is a great line delivery. The way he delivered it, he's like you can see the insecurity as he's saying it. Like Pattinson is a fantastic actor.
He's great. He's great. He's
like,
great.
This is one of those years where like years later you're gonna look back and be like, holy shit, Pattinson was in all of these movies in 1 year. That's insane. Because he's in the new Dune coming out at the end of the year as well. Like he's just absolutely banger for banger. But he's a great actor and he kills that role. Like I think he's one of the celebrity castings where I was like, nope, I keep that every time. He was great. I also thought, as much as I would say there's probably actors that would have done a better job than Tom Holland, he did way better than I expected considering the hate that he was like. I'm surprised he got hate for his, like, he did a good job. He did a very good job. I thought actually the best scenes in the movie were between him and Anne Hathaway. Like, those were the best scenes in my opinion in the entire film.
I thought Anne Hathaway was amazing.
Yeah.
She's the only person that I probably have no complaints about. I forgot Robert Pattinson though. He was I thought Tom Holland was fine. I thought he's like born to play this kind of role of like the kid who's trying to aspire to great things. Yeah, he fit it very well. He was cast very well. The Elliot Page, who's in the movie like 3 minutes, for people who are so upset about it, it's like, yeah, Elliot Page kind of fits that role too. It's fine. I don't know. It's just okay. I hate that. I can't, for the life of me, I don't know what everyone else sees in this. I don't understand why it's just taking the world by storm. I'm glad that it's making the conservatives look stupid, but I'm on their side for the wrong reason. Like, this movie is just not as good as everyone says. But I don't know. I'm very happy to hear that was your review too, because it's kind of rare. I don't see a lot of people saying this.
Yeah, one thing I saw about the Elliot Page was another one. Just like, I don't need Elliot Page there. Anyone could have been in that role. It wasn't an important role.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw things come, like people were like, it was so dumb. The whole culture war thing was so dumb. We already discussed the cultural part of it. We don't need to go back to it. But like, yeah, it wasn't an important role. I saw people like, oh, it was really important to have her be the moral, or have him be the moral backbone of the story. Just like, who was she in Inception? So I don't actually know what the right.
I don't know
appropriate. I don't know. But either way, in Inception, that was a moral backbone character.
Yeah.
And this one, the same things. Like, no, what? Not really. Like it's
not really.
It's not that important of a role. I don't know. You didn't need someone whose name I recognize to be in that role, because when you put someone whose name I recognize in it and they don't like disappear into the role and like go over the top, it's just distracting. And I do feel like this movie was guilty of that. Not that it's a great sin. It's fine. A lot of great movies have that same problem. But yeah, this one,
great actors shouldn't though.
Recognizable names.
Great actors with a great director shouldn't. I didn't think about this just now when you mentioned that if you're a great actor, do a good enough job, good enough direction, there's no reason this should happen. And Robert Pattinson, it worked. Like I didn't feel like this is just Robert Pattinson. No, he was a brand new character to me, or a brand new person to me. And Anne Hathaway as Penelope, I bought it. Like I bought her emotion that she brought to what I thought she was my favorite part of the film. I thought, but goddamn, Matt Damon and Odysseus is like, it's not like I watched. I was like, oh yeah, only Matt Damon can pull this off.
No, I can imagine watching Matt Damon. Like I was watching Matt Damon the entire time. It wasn't Odysseus. It was Matt Damon, and I feel like so many actors would have done a better job in that role who aren't Matt Damon.
He was like the fifth person offered this role, I think. Let me see. I was surprised to hear that, because who turns down a Christopher Nolan film? Let me see.
Yeah, that's weird. You could have slated this in to make $1 billion without even trying, and it's surprising anyone would turn down the lead role in a film like that.
Yeah. So I'll have to find it later, but I remember Matt Damon saying there were several people who were offered it for, and Christian Bale was one. Christian Bale was one person who was offered the role and decided to pass on it. But
that makes sense, I mean, he's a very serious actor.
Yeah,
Christian Bale is just a psychopath, and if it doesn't appeal to him as an acting level role, he doesn't care that it's going to be a cultural milestone.
Bale's like, no, Chris, sorry, like I'm not doing this, man. This is this movie's going to tank. Of course, it does great, but good choice, man. No, not going down that road. And Kyle commented here, Now you know how I felt about Obsession. Yeah, we mentioned a little bit earlier, Kyle, that are like channeling my exact attitude about Obsession that I was channeling about the Odyssey. But yeah, I'm glad you had that thought, John. There's one thing I saw too. I want to clear up while we're on the topics of movie theaters. I saw a TikTok today of these two guys talking about how weird it is that, like, you imagine seeing, maybe you see a movie theater, right? You see the building that you go in. Now, if you just eyeballed that building and someone said, all right, this is a movie theater, how many giant ass auditoriums do you think are in there? I would think 6, maybe 8. Wrong, 24. There's 24 giant theaters in there. And I was like, wow, that's true. Like, when I think about it, I am always surprised at the number of theaters that are in these buildings, especially considering the fact that when you walk in, it's just an open lot. It's just this open space with a big concession stand up there, and they still have room for 24 theaters. It's been haunting me all day. It's like I'm stepping through some sort of portal or something like that. And it's like, yeah, I would never guess that this building could hold, 18 or 20 theaters. And am I crazy for thinking that? Because it's been something I haven't stopped thinking about since then.
I don't think you're crazy for thinking it. You're saying it. I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. They do fit a lot, but also I'm not that interested by the observation. It seems like a very small observation.
I can't stop because it's like, yeah, it's one of those observations that I've had, but I never actually verbalized, which are my favorite ones. Like that, so maybe like to me, I just remember walking. Oh man, I wouldn't have guessed this place had 14 theaters, but I immediately forget it and just go to the theater afterward. Okay, so Pront, how do you pronounce this? Pront B. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Like, this is like the 8th show I've been wondering this, but let us know. And here I thought John would be permanently replaced with Natalie Shane. Have we ever done a Just Me and Natalie show?
I was wondering. I know I was sick last week when I saw that comment. I was like, did we have a show? Did Natalie replace me? I don't know.
I've never seen what you must be watching some other black guy that Natalie was.
Yeah, it must have been Natalie with some other black guy, man.
Yeah, with Coach D's show or something like that. Yeah, and John's seen the Odyssey. He ought to see these nuts.
He thinks Heather's Natalie.
Maybe so. Because she's done plenty of time. Yeah, that's right. A couple times. He ought to see these nuts is good. That's a good one, Colby. Hugh Jackson says the horizontal version of the broadcast is displaying vertically with the horizontal window. I hope it's not still that way. It looks fine for us.
It doesn't look that way to us. So
yeah,
sorry. It's probably my fault if it is wrong.
It doesn't know what to do with you coming in as a guest instead. And our leftist obsessed with knowledge. Zone out.
So wrong. I need to point out.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Know where they're getting there.
Yeah. All right. So Zendaya does a good angry face. That's about all she does. It's like she does an angry face with like a cloak on and like staring into the camera. I don't. I've had it with Zendaya, man. She's got to show me something to justify this. I don't understand.
She did not live up to her billing in this in the Odyssey whatsoever. Like, you really could have had anyone in that role would have done as good a job as Zendaya, and it was distracting to have her there.
And I don't feel like they did a good enough job of explaining what Zendaya was. Maybe that was on purpose, because first off, the movie goes out of its way to not portray any gods actually doing anything, which in the original story, the gods are active through the whole thing. The gods are real. And in this story, it's like it had to be purposeful that we're not going to actually have gods. The gods may or may not exist in this world, but we're not going to come right out and demonstrate that they're there, which is an odd choice considering all the fucking magic. They even start with this, to me, completely unnecessary opening caption that says, "In a time or a world of apparent magic." Why? I have no idea why that's there. It's the fucking Odyssey. I don't need that sort of intro into it. And when you have people, turning sailors into pigs, and you have Cyclops walking around, maybe a god or two showing up, not, suspend my disbelief. That wouldn't happen. But with Zendaya, she's Odysseus is carrying around the pennant of Athena. And he sees Athena like in his dreams. He sees visions of Athena. And then you find at the end of the movie that when they stormed Troy, that either, I don't know which one happened, either they cut off the head of some poor girl in Troy, or she was some sort of anthropomorphization of him or them cutting off the head of the statue of Athena. Yeah, I don't know which one it was because they don't make it very clear. Like, is she a representation of him defiling the gods? Or did they actually kill someone and the statue was a representation of that? Did they both really happen? I don't know. It didn't warrant her showing up over and over again. Like, no matter what the story was, it's nowhere near interesting enough to be a consistent plot throughout the movie, right?
Yeah, so I think it was a smart decision to have the gods be implied. I think for a couple of reasons. One, kind of like I said, the biggest impact, the biggest feeling I had while watching the movie was like, damn, it feels like I'm there. It feels like I'm in this boat with them. Holy shit, this is what people had to go through back then. And to have the gods being gods in all of that, like, it kind of made me feel made me feel more immersed, to be like, oh, this is how these people experienced the gods. Like, it was the seas, it was the storms, and that made a lot of sense to me. I really liked that part of the movie. And if you had the gods, now we're looking at a 4-hour movie instead of a 3-hour movie, and it's already long enough, like I said, with the pacing. So it would have been hard to do, and I like the decision there. I agree with you, though, that the Athena twist is not well. It could have been done better if you're going to do that, because, like, I don't understand why he's carrying this guilt over this girl that got killed for reasons that had nothing to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, if he had to kill her for some reason, that would have been more compelling and
100 times more.
And I don't know, like, you easily could have made him have to kill her for some reason. Like, I can't think of one specifically right now, but also they don't pay me millions of dollars to do this like they do Chris Nolan. So, like, there's a better version of that story that was in there. I don't hate the idea of it, but I do agree that was not executed at the highest level.
It wasn't, and, like, I don't even think he knew the reason. Like, he's a warlord from 3,000 years ago. He's not bothered by killing. The whole thing is about. I kind of did like they have to modernize the story, because if you told the story like it was even with and I guess with the wordplay in Greek, I forgot with the nobody wordplay thing. I guess it's a really clever. I don't know. I can only take their word for it that, Polyphemus' name means like a famous person. So maybe it was. I'm willing to grant that it's super funny in ancient Greek. I'm willing to grant that. I'm fine with that. But that not being there, fine. I got that. But like I said, Christopher Nolan films are known for these twists and aha moments and whoa, that was great. And I feel like the Athena thing was supposed to be one, and it was unsatisfying. I didn't care at all. I just, like, not one bit. And I was like, oh, that's what we've been waiting for this whole time. Athena is just a figment of his imagination. The witch, though, that was real. That was real. All right, don't worry about that. So I was like, I thought that was stupid. And also, write it down just here. I don't know if you got this, John, but this is a part where I rolled my eyes. The Bronze Age collapse is a really famous topic. All of a sudden, around 3,000 years ago, all these great civilizations, like the Hittites, I think the Old Kingdom in Egypt, a lot of the Greek kingdoms, they all collapsed, like, within a couple of generations. They've been there for hundreds of years and just fell apart. And the people who are blamed for this are this mysterious group called the Sea Peoples. And they're mentioned in a lot of texts in the Near East. You can find it in Turkey and in Egypt and in Greece. And they talk about the Sea Peoples. No one knows who they were. They just there's theories about who these people were. But these people were really active around the Mediterranean Sea during the Bronze Age collapse. Now, no one knows if they were actually the cause of the Bronze Age collapse or if they were a result of the collapsing Bronze Age. Like, maybe the societies fell apart and these warrior people started traveling around trying to get somewhere else. And I guess another twist in the movie is that the Greeks, Odysseus's Greeks, were the Sea Peoples. And I was like, okay, all right. I mean,
was that in the original? I didn't look it up.
No, it's not.
I did think that was clever.
It was, but I wasn't too happy with it because if you just grabbed 100 people off the street, how many of them could tell you about A, the Bronze Age collapse, or the sea peoples. I mean, you're talking 15% at best, I'm guessing. Like, people don't know, like, we know, of course, but I don't think your average moviegoer, when it's a $1 billion movie, people are going to know about the Bronze Age left. They sure as shit are going to know who the sea peoples are, but they really drive the point home when they say our age of bronze is coming to an end. And I said, just all right, you really want to go with this, man. I don't think people were calling the Bronze Age the Bronze Age while it was going on. Like, that seems strange to me. I don't think they actually did that, but that's just something else that bugged me. All right, enough complaining about the Odyssey. Any last words about the movie, John?
One last thing on the Odyssey, I just have to say, I really appreciated how much they beat Zeus's law to death with a hammer.
Oh God! Jesus!
Because it does seem ridiculous when you're watching the movie. You're like, how many times can they bring this thing up? But here's the thing: that's exactly what the Odyssey is. They mention Zeus's law it's the reason for everything in the entire fucking epic. It is faithful. And I think it is fun. Like it was one of those things that happened so many times that I came around. It was annoying about halfway through the movie, and by the end of the movie, I was like, "Fuck yeah, Zeus's law. That's what matters, guys." And by the way, Zeus's law is basically the golden rule. We just repeat this throughout history because it fucking works. But what did you think of that? That's actually a good point. And that the idea, I don't know if you saw this, that it was a fundamentally Christian small C conservative film.
I've seen conservatives say that, and maybe, but I think it's more of just it is a fundamentally modern moral tale. Like, I don't think Christianity necessarily, and which, I mean, like, the overwhelming majority of people who are going to watch this movie, at least in our country, the only one that matters, are going to be Christian. So I guess you want to put it that way, sure. But our morality is so different than people who lived in the Bronze Age. You can't really comprehend. I forgot to talk about this earlier, but you had to update the film because in the original story, like, when Odysseus comes back, he doesn't just kill the 100 bricked up men, the suitors who are sitting outside who wanted to bone his wife. He kills all the slave girls who had sex with him. I mean, in a horrific fashion. Like, he tortures them and hangs them, and their entrails dangle from. It's like, yeah, I see why that wasn't added in the movie. That's not going to go over well with modern audiences. So, yeah, Odysseus is an ancient, brutal warlord. You cannot have that person be your protagonist and have him identify with an audience. So you kind of have to do that. The Zeus's Law thing, though, John, it was fine with you. It drove me crazy. I can't believe I didn't mention it because I was like, how many fucking times do I got to hear the Zeus's Law thing? I feel like every other thing, we got the point. It's not like the first 4 times we didn't understand what you meant. I did make a joke afterward that, this whole treat other people's like you want to be treated, it's weird to me because this is 3,000 years ago, 1,000 years before Jesus. And I was taught under good authority. He was the first person with this idea. I was told that Jesus was such a revolutionary thinker that he thought of this. So I don't know how I'm putting it that way, but yeah, I don't know. The Zeus's Law thing, John, I disagree with you. I got very sick of it very quickly.
Yeah. All right. I think that can sum up the Odyssey for us. I don't really have any other thoughts. I'm actually surprised we made it 38 minutes into the show talking about the Odyssey.
I'm not. I'm dying to get your opinion on this. Wait a minute. Kyle says the Greeks being the sea people is a real recent discovery. What happens is archaeologists saw everyone saying the sea people are coming, and Greeks were like, we went to war with so many people. Kyle, I do not believe you. Dude, I love you and you're amazing, but I don't think that's true. Maybe it's a theory, but all right. This sounds like kind of self-aggrandizing. If we have confirmed the Greeks were the sea people, I would fucking know. I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe that this archaeological discovery has happened, and I was not aware of this. There's no fucking shit.
I hate to break it to you. I gotta take TJ. He was there, so.
Fuck. Damn. God damn. All right. And Colby says, TJ, I think it is a little averse to be stuck on a wooden boat crossing the ocean. Oh, is a little averse. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, fuck
yeah. That I don't think you got the joke there, TJ. But the
all right. I thought it was a TJ hates water joke because I do, but okay. Very good. Slavery, hilarious.
I will say, TJ, watching the movie, I think this all the time. I use it like a pirate movie. I was using this about, and this one even more so because it's just like a fucking long ship. I can't believe people fucking did that. Like,
I can't believe it, John. I can't.
They fucking did that. They just went in the ocean on a piece of wood and were like, storms, all this shit. Like I'm just gonna do in absolutely miserable existence. I would rather kill myself than do that.
I saw when I was in San Diego. It was before your wedding. I was in San Diego or something else, and I saw this old wooden ship they had, and they're tiny, compared to modern, warships and everything. And I saw that thing, and I remembered a time. I haven't even been sailing in the open ocean. I've never done that, but I was in Lake Michigan. My buddy had a boat on Lake Michigan, and in Chicago. And one night we just took a boat out there, like to the middle of the lake. It was dark as fuck. I mean, it was like darkness like I've never experienced before. And you saw a tiny little light of the city, like a million miles away. And John, it's one of the scariest moments I've ever lived through. I've had some pretty scary ones. That one, and I can't believe that people were on wooden vessels. Like, how much did you want to colonize? Like, how badly did you want to colonize in order to do that? You couldn't pay me to do it. It would never happen.
People chose to do it, TJ. People willingly chose.
They chose to do it.
I want to go adventure on the sea. Like, holy shit. That's insanity.
Yeah. And Colby, like I was saying, you can really see how bad they wanted those slaves. They really did something. Okay. All right. So we burned about an hour talking about the Odyssey. All right, John, I wanted to get your opinion on this real quick. I don't know if you even saw this, because this thing I feel like popped hot on Twitter a couple of days ago. So if you have a normal life, you may not have even seen it. But I can't find the original post, which I didn't even know was the original post. But it was some post on Twitter where Ben Shapiro, I think, one of his staffers, said something like, it was maybe TPUSA, one of the people who still work there. And they said, if you could sum up the way young people feel about the economy right now, it's basically this: a burrito should not cost $20. And it's been kind of catching fire everywhere. And Ben Shapiro made a video saying that, listen, you can go buy, food at a grocery store for a lot cheaper, and you can make yourself a burrito for a couple of bucks. The first post I saw was the one I'm going to share right here. And it's Joel Berry, who I guess is no longer the CEO at the Babylon Bee, because it says former Babylon Bee on his bio. But are you checking right now? See if Joel Berry's still at the Babylon Bee?
I have another thing to pull up, but continue.
Okay. All right. So he posted this. Last night, my wife made homemade burritos for our family of 8, and it costs less than $20 total for everyone. I'm beginning to think the affordability crisis is really, and I don't know how to cook prices. And I don't know if you've seen this, John, but this guy is getting lit up all over the place. Like, left and right wingers are saying that this is out of touch. This is ridiculous. We don't even fucking believe you. They fed 8 people for $20. People are putting screenshots that, a pound of beef on average is like $6.50, and a pound of beef is not going to feed 8 people, no matter how small the kids are. And he commented saying, well, yeah, we buy the meat from Costco and we stretch it with refried beans, which is really a fall from grace from American conservatism. And it's funny because this is what I do to conservatives whenever Republicans are in power and they complain about, these are the same people who couldn't stop complaining about the price of eggs 2 years ago. And then Dan Crenshaw posted this, which is what I kind of titled the show after, because this is even better. I really enjoyed this, from the eggs and milk cost too much party. Dan Crenshaw says, just hearing about this dumb $20 burrito debate, so I thought I'd make the losers on social media angry before going to bed. Stop whining, get a job, eat ramen like the rest of us did in college on a budget with 4 roommates. The market doesn't care what you think something should cost. Only communists care. They set prices, remember? Then everyone starves, remember? Are you a communist, or are you an American adult male capable of handling his own shit? That's the American dream right there. That is what Ronald Reagan brought to the American culture when he had us at the shining city on the hill. Is, you think things cost too much? Get a job, you bum. Get 4 roommates to live with you and your family. Eat ramen noodles. Eat gruel, you fucking peasant. I love it. Republicans, keep doing this shit. Please, I beg you, keep doing it. This is worse than anything Biden ever said.
It is. It's so... They've lost the plot, because that has the bones of a conservative argument of pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get it together. But no, things can cost too much. Like that is a thing. It happens in capital. We had the Great Depression here. It fucking happened. We lived through the Great Recession. Like sometimes the economy causes things to cost too much, or causes you to not be able to get a job, or causes you to not be able to find affordable housing. And these things are outside of your control. Yeah, you can get it. I can get a job. I have a job. A burrito still shouldn't cost $20 fucking. There's a problem if a burrito costs $20. And I'm not saying like every burrito, you can get a $20 burrito. I'm fine with a burrito costing $20. But like when I go to kind of like a relatively cheap restaurant, I should be able to get a burrito for less than $20. That's the way it feels. And maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe there's macroeconomic reasons for why that is the case, but then we should address those reasons, because at the end of the day, a little bit of protein, beans, rice, and fucking cheese in a tortilla should not cost $20. That's the problem. I will also say the people don't know how to make food at home. That's 100% a real thing.
Yeah.
That is a real thing, especially young people. But also, that's not it. Like that, it's like blaming the fact the ocean is rising on the fact that we've had a lot of rain recently. It's like, yeah, maybe it increased the water level locally, but like that's not really the real problem here, guys.
No, it's not. And of all people, our favorite conservative, Matt Walsh, made a point about that, because yeah, young people don't cook at home. They never fucking did. Okay, like this isn't like, it's not like young people in 1994 were cooking everything. Now, I guess they were doing it more, because I do remember when I was in college, I remember having this thought that it's too bad that really pizza and Chinese food are the only food that gets delivered. That some place should have breakfast delivery, because I would order it all the time. And then during COVID, I started doing that. Turned out terrible mistake. It's awful. Don't order that food. It's 3 times much than it should be. But yeah, young people have never cooked at home. Here's our buddy. I'm stunned how often we share Matt Walsh takes on the show. He's probably our most shared conservative, because every now and again he stumbles away into the truth. Like he takes a racist, like misogynistic, bigoted path to get there, but he does get there every now and then. And here's what he says. Okay. Matt Walsh says, not to change the subject from burritos, but when I was earning poverty wages in my 20s, I used to go to Subway nearly every day to get a foot-long Italian sub for $5. It was generally the only big meal I would eat a day. If I was hungry later at night, I could always swing by McDonald's and grab a chicken sandwich for $1. All of these people are screaming about eating at home, but I basically never made meals at home in those days, and I was able to get by. You used to be able to survive on low wages without making meals from scratch. It's not that it's impossible. Then if it's not that it's impossible anymore, then it's a sign that our standard of living is declining. That's a problem. You should care about that. Anyway, I went to Subway recently, and that same sandwich was $13. McDonald's, of course, doesn't sell anything for $1 anymore, and God damn, did nail it. God damn, I was exactly what you said. It's not that, okay, maybe you go to a nice place, a burrito will cost you $20. Okay, fine. We get that. But your standard restaurant, like the dollar menu's gone. Every burger is $6 now. Insane. Like absolutely insane this is happening. So you're right, John. It's not necessarily that, well, these kids don't cook any home anymore. But even if you don't, you shouldn't be able to be like bankrupted just trying to eat out every now and then.
And to take it to an even like larger, like zoom out here, we've been making food as a species for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It is literally one of the very few things that we absolutely must do as a society is make food. There's no reason that the cost for food out of just like the average American's daily budget should be the same now as it was 20, 40, 100 years ago. But it's not even the same, it's higher. And yes, you're like Matt Walsh said it perfectly. Yeah, you can eat at home, but that's a decrease in our standard of living. And there's no reason for it. We've gotten better at making food. We make food more cost effectively than ever before. And sure, the labor involved in making food is going to have, the cost of that labor is going to increase. So food will increase over time, but it doesn't explain all of it. Like I said before, there's no way you can say that a $5 footlong from Subway is $13 now because they're paying workers 150% as much. That's not what's happening. A Subway, the people involved in the entire Subway distribution chain to get that footlong from plants in the ground, seeds in the ground to your mouth, the amount they paid the workers did not increase by 150 fucking percent. We know this. We all know this. So where the fuck is that money going, bro? That's it. And I will totally put my hand up and say that is a overly simplistic way of explaining how macroeconomics work. And you would be 100% right if you made that criticism. But you got to explain it somehow. And I see no rational explanation outside of fucking greed and mismanagement of resources for why things are the way they are. They don't have to be that way. There are better ways that we can do things that don't make a burrito cost $20. And if you're one of the politicians sitting there and telling people, sit down, shut up, stop complaining, live with 4 roommates and eat ramen, that's not a message people are going to fucking like, bro. And even if you were correct about that, which you're not, it's still a really shitty fucking thing to say. Like, it's just a loser fucking mentality. We used to build things in this country, TJ, and now we got to sit in our fucking studio apartment with 4 roommates eating each other's ramen in order to get by.
We went from JFK's a car in every garage and a chicken in every pot to a roommate in every living room. That's what you need. That's what it's going to take for you to survive and everything. Yeah, the groceries too, even the cheap option. I'm pretty sure about this number, but groceries, like the responsible thing you're supposed to buy, I think are up 43% in 6 years, which is a massive jump from what it usually goes by. You know, it's not like it's because Kyle said something. What did Kyle say? Hold on, where is it? Oh yeah, Economics 101. Inflation is meant to go on indefinitely because it is linked to increased demand. Yes, inflation is not a bad thing. Inflation isn't bad. Like you actually don't want deflation. You don't want your dollar to be worth more than it is right now. I think Japan faced a problem with deflation after a while. Because if you have $1 in the bank today that's worth 98 cents tomorrow, you're going to be more incentivized to spend that dollar while your purchasing power is high. If you have $1 today that's going to be worth $1.10 in a week, why would you spend it? You're like, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold on to this. That's terrible for the economy. So a little bit of inflation is good. But ever since COVID, when companies had supply chain issues because of fuel demand, when there was supply chain issues, but what was the other term? What's the one I'm looking for? Where in COVID they were suffering. But anyway, prices rose during COVID, and we understand why. Everyone got that. The issue is they never went back down because once they know, oh, you can't afford to pay this, why would they charge less? Like it's actually bad business to start charging less, which is why I hate to do it, but I got to give the devil his due. You know who doesn't do this? Oil companies. Like when gas goes down. Like when the supply goes up, the gas price actually does go down. I'm actually amazed how consistent they are in this because they could just keep charging the high prices. They haven't. That with Trump, every other day, we talk about Iran, we have 27 minutes, but every other day Trump says that the Iran war is over. We're going to have a new plan. Everything's going to be signed. The oil market surge and the gas prices go down. I can't believe that actually works. I'm amazed. I can't believe that Trump just saying something allows our prices, but they do go down. Gas prices, they didn't stay at like $4.10 like they were 2 months ago. They could have. They absolutely could have. And they said, no, we're going to lower. So I got to give them their due there. But John, I haven't checked today, but yesterday Trump announced for the 8th time that the war is going to come to an end tomorrow, that a deal is on the table and the strait is going to be completely open. Iran is going to agree to no nuclear weapons. Has that deal been signed today? I haven't seen the news on that.
Have not seen news on it at all. And even if I had seen news on it, it wouldn't have mattered because it's fake. And I don't mean like haha fake news. It means every single time I've seen a ceasefire deal, but in any fucking country, signed in the past several years, it isn't real. We're still fighting the same wars that we were fighting under Biden. Like Israel Hamas still going on. Israel's now in Lebanon too, so I guess like that's an additional part of the war. Ukraine and Russia are still fighting somehow. Like that's one of the biggest surprises. I would have never guessed. Like I would have been very, very like the most wrong I've ever been in how long this has lasted. Like it's just forever. It's constant forever war. Why are we doing this, TJ? Like honestly, why are we doing this?
The Russia thing is so true. I think you nailed it. Like it's been over a year now, maybe two, when you said that. Even back then, you were saying, Russia not beating Ukraine is essentially a loss. It's kind of like us with Iran. Like us not beating Iran is a loss for us. And you said it was something like an 11 seed beating a 2 seed or something. Is how you put it. With Ukraine actually still kicking in this fight against Russia. Amazing to me that it's still going on. And it actually involves us now too, because we're getting embarrassed on a global stage in Iran. God damn, are we getting embarrassed? Like, have you heard about our lack of munitions? How we're actually running out of missiles?
TJ, I don't want to be arrested for treason. We got to be careful with that sort of stuff. Donald Trump said that reporting on our depleting stockpiles is treason. Don't really know how that works, but that's treasonous to say, TJ. So I know that we actually have more bombs than we did at the start of the Iran war. If anyone from the Justice Department is listening to this right now.
We're just choosing not to use them. I love that Trump does this. I gotta say, it's hard for me to shit on Donald Trump too much because my whole life I've been making fun of this, the power of positive visualization stuff, how it's garbage and nonsense. Turns out it's real. Like it's actually real that, talking to yourself and telling yourself you're the best and that you're going to crush the shit standing in a superhero pose, and that it makes you do better, which I fucking hate that. I hate that works and everything. It really bothers me. But Trump does it in like the cartoonish way that I would make fun of, where he just speaks things into reality and they actually happen. So the fact that he's been president twice, amazing. I gotta give him credit. That's incredible that he's actually pulled it off. He keeps saying that we're winning the war, even though by every metric we're getting crushed. He comes out and says, we are going to, what did he say first? We're going to end an entire civilization tonight. And then the next day, of course, he says, I've changed my mind. I talked to the people of Iran. They're very reasonable negotiators. We're going to get back on track here. He does this once a month. He did it again a couple of days ago, saying we're going to have the biggest attack that we've had since World War II. The Iranians better get ready. We're going to take out their buses, their schools, their trains, their bridges. And then the next day, guess what? I spoke to the Iranians. I know they say that I haven't spoken, but we're going to have a deal tomorrow. It's going to have how does he keep doing this? And here's what's crazy. Like I mentioned, it works. It works. Like the market actually responds to this bullshit. I don't know how much longer he can do this, but apparently forever. Apparently he can spend 2.5 more years just doing this shit, and it's going to work every time.
And he will sell access to get his Truth Social posts a half a second earlier for $1 million a month to anyone who wants some to make those bets, because it works in the sense that it's not like anyone actually believes it. It's just they know that people will make bets based on what he says, and they're betting on the bets going in a certain direction. That's why it moves the markets. It's not. People make fun of this, and they're like, "Yeah, no, like these investors must be so dumb that they think this." No, they don't. I mean, they're dumb in a lot of ways, sure, but like not in that way. They understand it's bullshit. They just know that it will move the market. It's just people convincing themselves. It's the fucking Dutch tulip bubble, where it's like, no, the Dutch people did not actually think a tulip was worth its weight in gold, but they thought other people would buy it for that much, and so they invested in it. That's what's going on here. You're just seeing that on the scale of a war, and that's depressing, but true.
Wow, we got a Dutch tulip craze reference. Yeah, that was good. No, that was good. I haven't had one of those in a long time. That's another obscure fact right there. That's up there with the sea peoples in the Bronze Age. I don't think a lot of people know about
We're just pulling them out, DJ.
We're just pulling out, going crazy with the shit.
This is a good episode. TJ, how many
this
people
is so
watching
fun
right now? I cannot see how many people are watching.
Oh, this has been good. We're at 9 now. We were consistently around 15 though for a while.
Nice,
It was really good.
I'm glad people are here watching this, because this has been a good one.
This has been good. This is pretty good. And so, comments. Kobe says about Saudi Arabia. Did you see Saudi Arabia is prepping to fight the Iraqis and Houthis? I heard about the Houthis. the Iraqis? I haven't heard about that. But John, did you hear that the Trump administration is working on a nuclear deal for Saudi Arabia to allow Saudi Arabia to produce nuclear energy? Did you see that?
No. Oh wait, yes, I did. No, I did see that. Yes, that was a little bit ago though. That was like a couple.
It was like a couple weeks ago or something. But one of those things again. It's useless to do this. It makes no sense. But what if Obama had done this? What if Obama had come out and said, you know what, we're working with the Saudis and we're going to help them build the nuclear program? Republicans would have just like literally exploded. Bodies would have just smeared all over the walls. They would have gone insane. But Trump can get away with doing anything. I'd love to see what happens at the party when Trump is gone. I'd love to see what happens at the party when Trump is gone because he's the only thing holding this shit together because they're all... who said they weren't stupid? Oh, you did. No, the market was stupid. But I think Trump supporters are just dumb. They're just really stupid people. And
I want to speak on that for a second, the Saudi Arabia nuclear thing, because I dare a Republican to explain to me why Iran having nuclear weapons is an existential threat to us, but Saudi Arabia having them is not. Like, they are, for all intents and purposes, equally theocratic states.
Yep.
Equally, I mean, Saudi Arabia has been playing ball with us, but they could stop any day. I don't understand why Iran is a bad guy, Saudi Arabia good guy. Explain to me like I'm Five Guys. Like I really don't. Both commit crimes against humanity. Both treat their people horribly. Both could and both. And I put a post out there and it got a lot of flack because I said Iran has never attacked America.
Nope.
Why would we be so terrified of them doing so? And people are like, oh, actually, they attacked the embassy back during the Iran-Contra thing. And I was like, okay, I'm so sorry. Let me rephrase my statement. The actual sitting government as a state of Iran has never attacked America or Americans or even attempted to hurt us on U.S. soil. How is this a threat to how are these countries a threat to us? I don't see it. I just do not see it. They don't attack us. We haven't been attacked. We got attacked one fucking time. I guess since World War II. We've been since Pearl Harbor. It was Pearl Harbor, 9/11. The two only fucking times we've ever been attacked. Pearl Harbor was the only one by a state. The other one was just a terrorist organization, and they just got really fucking lucky.
Filled with who? Like, who were the people that feel it? It was with the Saudis. Right? Like, I just don't. Kyle found here, and Saudi Arabia funded 9/11. Like, are we just letting that go? We're just letting that shit go.
Honestly, they have attacked us indirectly more than Iran ever has. So what do you want me to do here?
Give me the name. Like Saudi Arabia is Sunni and Iran is Shia. Can anyone even name a Shia terrorist from that ever attacked the United States of America? Iranian or otherwise. I think most of them are Iranian, but you can't. It's just not a thing at all. And this is why I actually have more respect for Iran and Saudi Arabia than I do for Israel, is that Israel goes around saying we're the only democracy in the Middle East. We are the only stand-up people that practice American values. We don't discriminate. We're a stand-up version of what humanity can be. It's all bullshit. But Iran and Saudi Arabia have the common decency to present themselves as what they are. Brutal theocratic states. That's exactly they're monarchies. Like, yeah, we're not going to pretend for anything otherwise. I appreciate the honesty. If nothing else, I appreciate the honesty. Give them both nuclear weapons. Fine, fuck it. I don't care. It's like, what are we rolling with here? All right. Speaking of Muslims, we had a bunch of primaries across the country last night, and speaking of Muslims, I watched Dune the other night. No, listen. Okay, I've never read Dune. Okay, of course, I never read the books, but Heather loves the books, and so she told me that we should watch it, and so I like it so far. But I was like, okay, how come all the people in this desert have like Arab-sounding names, like the Muad'Dib and the Al Sharaf or whatever? I was like, this is like 8,000 years in the future. We still have Arab names on different planets. I don't know. It works, I guess, but I thought that was kind of odd. And we had a bunch of primaries this week on August 4th. And we had one in Michigan. And there was a story that I found out about today, John. I hope you haven't heard about this because I thought it was great. But there was a guy running for a Republican seat in Michigan, and he is a black former Muslim who converted to Christianity. He's also a Navy veteran. He's a good, strong. Oh, you've heard the story? He's a good.
Yes.
Fuck. I was hoping to drop it on you, but good, strong Navy man, and he ran for office in the Republican Party. And this is the story of what happened here. Okay. An amazing thing just happened in the Republican primary in the 8th District of Michigan for 3 candidates: Tom Smith, Al Lemo, and Amir Hassan. Hassan is a Navy veteran who converted to Islam from Islam to Christianity. He got Trump's endorsement. Tom Smith dropped out of the race in mid-July and endorsed Lemo, but Smith remained on the ballot. What happened? Despite Trump's endorsement, the MAGA refused to vote for Amir Hassan. They didn't even vote for Lemo. The winner was Tom Smith, the guy who dropped out. Trump has a remarkable record of endorsements leading to victory in Republican primaries. What was different this time? Political scientists have to study this for years. Now, John, I'm looking at Mr. Hassan here, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why Trump's endorsement did not get him over the line in this race. Do you have any clue here? I'm just it's been bugging me all day.
Can't quite put my finger on it, TJ. It's a real stunner. I'm coming up blank, just like a white sheet of paper, as to why this guy didn't win. It is honestly like this story is so funny.
It's hilarious.
Just guy claims to convert from Islam to Christianity in order to earn Trump's endorsement and then loses. That's a funny story right there. That is already A+ comedy material. The fact that he lost to a guy who dropped out of the race. Chef's kiss. Like, that is so perfect. And obviously they just were like, yeah, I'm not moving for fucking Hassan. That's the guy that's been that's campaigning with the Democrats, the streamer guy. We're not voting for him. He's probably like cousin with Zoran or something.
Said we deserve 9/11, man. I'm not voting for Hassan to represent me in Michigan. Oh God, it's so funny. I've never heard of this guy or this race until I think today. I think today is when I first heard about it. And I saw a TikTok video he did, and the guy is he's a young guy. He looks good. He's in good shape, and he's sitting there. He had Trump's endorsement. He's a veteran. He even had the "I left Islam and I'm a Christian now. I'm one of you." Like, you think they would love to have this guy on their side? No, a black Muslim? Get the fuck out of here! And he was on there saying, "Listen, I'm discouraged that I lost the race, but I haven't given up my conservative values, haven't given up my principles. I'm still sticking with the fight. We're still going to bring Christianity to Michigan." I said, buddy, they don't want you, man.
Just stop pretending.
Oh,
you lost to a guy who wasn't running.
Who wasn't even running, man. I just, like, what else do you need? Like, what else do you fucking need? Even if, let's say I still held all the same views that conservatives hold, I'm not helping them out anymore. I'm not running for office and putting myself up for that kind of embarrassment, because it's going to keep happening. They're not going to become more accepting of you as time goes on. And I saw another clip too. I saw this one yesterday. I don't even know the details on this complete story, but I found it pretty humorous. This is where is this?
Oh, this is
I know. Oh, you've seen it too? Okay, yeah, so I'll just let it go.
No, I remember seeing. I forgot exactly what he said, and I want you to play it again.
Okay, yeah. So this guy, I don't know who he is, but he's at some Trump event, and he's talking about a police officer who was killed in the line of duty. And watch how the Trump crowd reacts to him.
So Pastor Tice spoke about Officer Abdel Nabi a few moments ago. No, we're not booing. We're not booing him. He's the officer that passed away here recently. So
John, shut I'm watching that, and it's like, these guys didn't know shit about this guy. They don't know anything about this officer. All they know is he has a Muslim name. The second he said it, chorus of boos, just booing all the way. It's like, whoa, no, hey, we're not booing him. He's one of the good ones. He's an officer who was killed in the line of duty. And I imagine this guy looking up from where I assume hell and saying, wow, after all I did for these people, they're going to boo me just because they hear my name. And conservatives wonder why they're called racist so often. I don't know. Maybe it's because this shit keeps happening. Like, this isn't an aberration. Do you remember that clip with Sheriff Joe Arpaio from Arizona? And he is at Nick Fuentes' event, the America First Political Action Committee. And he gets up there and he says, you talk to a lot of people and they say, I'm the biggest racist in the country. Crowd goes wild, cheering. And he says, whoa, wait a minute. Wait, why are you cheering? I'm not a racist. Start laughing. He's like, and you folks aren't racist either. I was like, buddy, I think they are. Why do you think they cheered you being called the biggest racist in the country? Look, you can't have people like this who are front seating your movement and expect people not to call you out on it. This is really hilarious shit. I'm so sad you saw that one too. John's on. Damn it.
I'm on top of it, TJ. No, it immediately reminded me of John McCain. He's like,
oh yeah,
he's not a Muslim. He's a good man. Like just like the acknowledgement on his face, where he's like, guys, I understand why you're booing, but this is not one of those times where we boo a Muslim. This Muslim, he's good. He died for us as a cop, and we like those Muslims. We like the dead ones. He's good, and he just keeps going. Absolutely hilarious. To tie it full circle there. It's just like fucking Agamemnon. They don't care what you did. They just want you to avenge whoever killed them. No one gives a shit about you when you die in war. You're just going to be there and miserable and cold and suffering, and no one will give a shit about you. No one there will give you shit about you. All of these things you died for are for nothing. That is the moral of the Odyssey, or at least one of them. And it is the moral of that story right there. They're never going to love you. Like, you can convert to Christianity, you can become a cop, you can die in the line of duty. They're still going to fucking boo your ass, bro. Like, because they're fucking racist. I don't know what to tell you.
That's the number one operating principle for the MAGA movement. That's it. There's a clip here that I wish I could play. I can't. But it's Sneeko, who's a reprehensible person. Like, Sneeko is just awful, which is a real shame.
Alumni, Sneeko, went to school at the same time as him.
Really?
Never actually met him, but yeah, before he dropped, I guess he's not an alumni. He didn't graduate, but yeah.
But which is a real shame because I saw this documentary on Nico years ago, and it showed him he's been streaming since he was like 13, and it showed him doing video games and streaming, talking about it. And he was a hard left winger at 13. And he was offering some really good political. And I was like, wow, this kid's really bright. And to see what he's turned into, to see him hanging out with like the Tate brothers and like Clavicular and like just like he's sunk to that level was disturbing. But I saw him in a conversation with like a true, like full white supremacist calling him the N-word over and over again, saying, we want you out of our country. And that's what you get, man. This is what you deserve. This is what you've been hanging out with this entire time. But, all right, I wanted to, we have 8 minutes here. I wanted to bring this up. I am doing my best, John. I'm doing my dead level best to not make the mistake that a lot of like centrist Democrats have made. And I've made too. I'm trying to do better on this, that I am calling my own ceasefire here. I'm tired of the left on left violence. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of us, tanking left-wing candidates. It's like, I'm going to save my criticism mostly for right-wingers. I'm going to try to do that. I offer, like, that's what I try to tell myself in the past. Like, I'm just offering advice, but I don't know, fighting amongst us isn't, like, I don't know, lefties or even, like, most solid Democrats aren't my enemy. They're people, they're usually, like, at least they have a better plan than any fucking Republican you can imagine. But, God damn it, John, sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes I can't help it. I can't help myself. I don't know if you heard of this lady. What's it, Francesca Hung. I don't know where she's running, but she made some
Wisconsin, I think.
Oh, Wisconsin. That's right. So, this comment she made, it's just like, wow, is this your first day in politics? Okay, here we go. Let me pull this up here.
One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021. Where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. The post has been deleted. Republicans have been highlighting it. Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef, and one of the first meals that I made that was for the community when I was 16 was a Thanksgiving meal. I always think my hospitality background in owning a restaurant for 7, 8 years, that bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good thing. But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. And so I think I wanted to make sure that people understood that there are multiple views, but views can evolve. And the position that I'm running for right now, and I think my background as a chef, will actually help me become a better governor that's able to bring more people to the table.
All right, John. So I haven't prompted John this at all. I don't even know what his answer is going to be. Kobe says, throwback. John also has a controversial comment about Thanksgiving a few years ago. I don't know what it is. John, we're going to pretend you're running for governor of a fucking state, okay? You're running for governor of the state of Pennsylvania right now. And someone dug up a post where you said, Thanksgiving's a shit holiday. I think we should cancel it. John, do you stand by that statement?
I do not stand by that statement. No, that's it. Like, I like. Here's the thing, TJ. I have actually given this one a lot of thought.
Oh, really? Okay, all right.
I have, because on one hand, it's a dumb statement. It's a dumb fucking statement. And there's so many ways to pivot off of it and just kind of deny of like, really, we're talking about a post I made about Thanksgiving during the fucking lockdown. Like that's what we're focused on now when the economy's XYZ. Like that is how a good politician would have answered that question. And she did not. She did this kind of middle ground thing that didn't fucking work. She actually followed that up with she was talking to Politico and they asked her about it again. She said, this is like the next day. And she was like, my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Yep. I don't want to cancel it. I actually love it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And that I respect more. Like, don't give me either go full on. Did I? No, actually, no. Did I say that? Must have been weird. I fucking love Thanksgiving, bro. That way you can play it or double the fuck down. You can double the fuck down and be like, guys, I hate Thanksgiving. I fucking hate it. I do think it should be canceled. But I'm not like some fucking crazy authoritarian like Donald Trump who's actually trying to cancel holidays like Juneteenth. And you can go that direction too. The way she's doing it is dumb. But Francesca Hong is an interesting one because Francesca Hong is, if you live in our circles long enough, you recognize people like Francesca Hong as the type of people on the left. They don't get along with me. If me and Francesca Hong we're in an event, we would not get along. We'll vote for each other.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get along on a base fundamental. We're going to agree on 95% of shit, and the 5% of things we disagree on is going to be utter hatred. And so I don't like her personally. I don't think she's great, but I want her to win. You know, like that. That's kind of where I'm at with her. And I really hate how like a lot of like establishment Democrats pretend like they don't do that all the fucking time. And they're like, oh, well, she thinks we're going to cancel Thanksgiving. That's terrible. That's going to perform terribly. It's going to make us look bad. It's like, bro, like there's 80 million establishment Democrats that like have also horrific opinions that get them to lose all the time. And you don't treat it like anything because it's just the fucking normal. And this person who has a couple bad takes, we have to cancel the whole fucking no. Like I hope she wins. I hope she kicks your ass. Even though I'm pretty sure that we would hate each other's guts if we knew each other in real life.
I just think I don't know anything about her other than this clip. She has a couple more about abolishing prisons and police, something like that. But this one I find particularly egregious, especially since you told me what she said the next day. Now I'm even angrier. Now I'm even more upset. And that she completely flipped it the next day and says, no, Thanksgiving's amazing. Look, because like there's no way she wasn't ready for that question. She had a whole speech set up. I hate when people do a non sequitur when they ask, hey, what do you think about this? Well, you know, as a chef, bitch, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Well, what is going on here? But when that's a particularly unforced error, because I can see you stepping in it by saying, you know, abolish police or abolish prisons. I think that's bad. That's not good politics right there. But I can see you fucking up on that. But if you like made some post that says, yeah, Thanksgiving shouldn't exist, you're attacking like a foundational part of Americana, right? Like people love tossing the pigskin and getting 2 days off work and sitting around the table with family members that they hate. People love that shit. Like they love it. They have memories going back to their childhood of that. And you saying this, yeah, it should be gone. We should get rid of it. Backtrack as far as you can from that. Either backtrack as far as you can from that because it's not going to go over politically as much as like what is a huge essay here. Hong is too Madison coded. I'm nervous about her chances. Yeah, Madison, Wisconsin is a huge college town, super left wing. I think people like her don't realize how badly that plays to your average person. Your average person, think, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. And that is going to stick. That is going to stick with her the rest of the time. You tackle that shit immediately. You either say, yeah, look, I was having fun on posts. I was being edgy. You know, it was years ago. It was just having a good time. Of course, I don't think we should cancel Thanksgiving. Or you double down on it and say something funny or something clever or interesting. But you can't just be like, yeah, you know, we have different opinions on this. I love serving you on Thanksgiving, but I'm not going to answer the question. And then the next day say, oh, it's great. It's amazing. It's too late. It's too late. You've already stepped in it. So, yeah, we don't have time to go into it anymore. But go ahead.
Really quick, first, Colby, if you can tell me what my controversial comment from Thanksgiving was.
You don't even remember? That's great.
I don't remember. I vaguely remember this, but I don't remember what it was. So, Colby, I love that you remember it. If you can remember what it was, please let me know. And then second, Hugh says he canvassed for Hong and immediately realized that all the other volunteers seemed to have a near cult-like view of her. I mean, that is kind of, but like that does get you to win. You know, that can be very
true.
Like that is not a bad thing, but that's why she is a left-wing cult member that is going to be captured. Like the reason she said that is because she at that time she wasn't running for office. She was you know, stirring shit. And it's kind of like what I say about like the pro-life argument of like women have the right to choose. It's like that only makes sense to people who don't think that a fetus is a human being, because no one thinks women have the right to choose murder. It's just a thing that we say to make ourselves feel good when we're talking to each other. That doesn't mean anything in reality. The only reason you said cancel Thanksgiving is because you were trying to be more progressive and more anti-colonial, and it's like like the pick me girl version of
definitely.
And
yes,
like that's
100%.
That's what you're doing. And it's fine. I understand what you're doing. I'm not going to be upset. I'm still going to vote for you. We're still aligned on a policy. It's one of the reasons where I'm like, I recognize this type of person. If you've been in our circles a while, you have. And it's just, you kind of have to ignore that shit and just accept them in the coalition, because they can generate cult-like followings. And those are
happens sometimes. Before we go, I'm going to give 5 points to Colby for digging this up and 10 points to Past John for nailing his Thanksgiving take. John said the bad stuff happened so long ago, it shouldn't matter anymore. Thanksgiving is just people getting together and sharing a good meal. 100% true. 100% true. Nope.
Yep. Stand by that 100%.
Yep. Conservatives are 1,000,000,000% right whenever they say, listen, no one's actually celebrating genocide. Well, I mean, maybe almost no one is. So Thanksgiving has devolved. It's not even about being thankful anymore. It's just about hanging out with your family and enjoying. It's near the end of the year. We cram all our big holidays in like 3.5 months, 2.5 months. And it's the only time you get to see your family members, and you eat, you have a good time, you get fat, you enjoy the cold weather setting in. That's all Thanksgiving is. It's a good time that people enjoy having. It has nothing to do with celebrating the genocide that fell after it. A holiday means exactly what you want it to mean. And for us, it just means having a good time. So yeah, I'm totally with Past John on here.
And thank you, Colby. Thank you very much for that, because it's 100% true. It literally, the responses I got to that, I remember now, like they were like, you're perpetuating the Thanksgiving myth. I'm like, no, I'm saying Thanksgiving, it's a myth. You're admitting it's a fucking myth. It didn't happen. It's a shit story. The only reason you know it is because you're fucking dressed up like pilgrims and Indians.
Pilgrims, yeah. You're a kid, yeah.
And like, that's the only reason you fucking know it. We can stop doing that and keep the 99.9999% and just don't have the kids dress up as pilgrims and Indians. That's it. Everything else is fine. It doesn't have to be connected. Just stop.
Yeah. How many of you are actually celebrating the birth of Christ on Christmas? Like, really? I mean, you pay lip service to it. There's some cool songs about it, but it is like number 12 on the list of things you're actually thinking about on Christmas Day. Holidays evolve with time, especially super old ones like Christmas or Thanksgiving. But all right, so we're closing up here. Any final thoughts, John?
Fantastic show, TJ. This is my favorite show we've done in a
great show. We're back, folks. We are so back. We're back,
we'll
baby.
on
I love
Tuesday on TikTok again, and then the following Thursday back here on YouTube. And hope to see you guys then.
Love it. Thanks for the comments, everybody. Kyle celebrates Yule, not Christmas, because of course he does. All right, so.